Yeah, great.
Whoa, this ain't going.
See down the side. And but I appreciate everybody on the chat tonight for your comments. Well, hello, folks. Glad to have everybody back with us tonight. Back on the Bee Connection. It has been a long while. We're glad that you're tuning in with us tonight. Lots to talk about. Do want to start out with just the weather conditions. We continue to get hit by snowstorm after snowstorm. So you see the little sign there, Nag's Head, because that's the coast of North Carolina, and they don't keep very much salt down there. And got a monster storm down there. We also did here. I'd say Keith did also. We got up to a foot here in the mountains of North Carolina. Several places got that foot and more. But I will say right now we are out of salt. We had a little bit of a misty rain yesterday with a little light dusting, and you talk about a slick snow. And without no salt on it, it was really slick this morning going into work. So that was definitely not a fun ride. And I don't know how Ruth sat over in the passenger side and slept on the way to work, but she did do that. So I know one time I was like, whoa, hold on. And I looked over, she's still asleep. It didn't bug her one bit. So, but anyway, just wanted to say anybody I seen at the expo and I didn't get a chance to talk to y'all, I would like to apologize. It was busy, many people there. Got to see a lot of you guys that I hadn't seen in a long time. I know everybody's talked about the expo, but it's been over a month for me before I've been on a live stream to really get to talk to people. So, but I will say I appreciate you guys being with us. The No Life Beekeepers dinner was perfect. It was definitely nice not being a vendor for once and getting to enjoy everybody. Appreciate Randy McCaffrey who let us stay in his booth for a lot of the time. I did get me a new bee suit from Guardian Bee Apparel. Did get some frames from 21st Bees. And I also, let's see what else today is. One more. Oh, I got some sugar patties off of Matt and Sandy. So got some stuff off of them for my bees. That was great. There was several things that I wanted, and I did not pull the trigger on many of them. I did get some jars while I was there also. So lots of stuff to get. So many good deals there. And I know this happens every year that I'll say, I should have bought that. I should have got just a little bit more of this. I should have done that. Keith, you know how that is, right, Keith? Every year you say something else I should have got. So, but anyway, I'll be back with you tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I would like to take just a little bit of time today to talk a little bit about the stingless bees I seen in Mexico. I think y'all find that very interesting tonight. And we'll go over a few other things as the night goes on also, some different topics and different things. So anyway, Keith, what's going on down in your neighborhood? Are you getting ready for this next snow? Because we up here in the mountains may get another 8 inches tomorrow. So great.
I don't think we're supposed to get any of that, but who knows? It's been such a crazy past few weeks. We had, I guess last weekend or weekend before last, we had 3 or 4 inches of sleet, which was okay because they said it was going to be an ice storm. That didn't happen. It was just sleet, which is a whole lot better than ice or freezing rain, let me say. And then the weekend after that, we had about 7.5 inches of fluffiest snow I've ever seen.
Yep.
That powdery stuff that you can't make a snowball with it. So thankfully, I got the most of the sleet scraped off the driveway, and the sun helped me out and dried it out. And then when the other snow came, that was pretty easy to get rid of. So I've kept the driveway pretty good out to the main road, probably better than the main road. But man, we've had single digits and lots of teens and a whole lot more cold weather than what's normal around this neck of the woods. So yeah, that shot there looks familiar. That's some of my hives. They're looking. I went out and shot them all late yesterday, and they look good. So we shall see. Winter ain't over with yet, but so far so good.
Does look like your bees have moved in the top of those boxes. They see a lot of heat, or is that just because the sun was out that day?
No, mine. That's pretty normal for mine. I put fondant on them fairly early. And I found the bottom box is pretty much empty at this point. I run all mediums. So rotating boxes is something that I'll do early spring. There's nothing at all in those bottom boxes. So they're going to definitely be in the top two. So, but yeah, they usually climb up in the top box fairly quick. All my hives still have some weight to them, so not really worried about stores. So far so good. Looking forward to spring though. It's been cold long enough.
But you did get a little chance to get some shots of your bees out and about when it was kind of chilly. Is that not correct?
Oh yeah, there was. If you turn around and look right behind you right then, there's snow on the ground. So man, it was in the upper 30s, and but the sun was shining on these hives, and man, the ladies are wanting to get out. We're supposed to be in the 50s a couple of days, middle of next week.
Yes,
supposedly. Finally. Man, if it does that, they're going to all be out crazy. So that'll be fun to see.
No doubt. It is nice to see your bees come out and know that they're still alive. I do know that my bees down there in Bermuda Run, about the middle of North Carolina, the lady told me that the bee trailer, that the bees were still coming in and out. So that definitely made me feel good that they were definitely alive. So,
yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a two-pronged thing. I mean, they're out flying and not anything for them to forage, but still, it's good to see them.
Yeah. At least you know they're there, right?
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yes. Well, speaking of snow and everything, Philip, I came back from my Mexico trip, and we were supposed to come back through Dallas, back home. And it was so bad in Dallas, I bet we'd been stuck there for 3 days if we'd went that way. So I was glad they sent us through Miami and sent us on up in Charlotte. So, but what's going on in your area, buddy?
Well, we're back to normal. I think it probably got to be low 70s today, and I think we're going to be in the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. I actually got in my bees today.
Oh,
no fair.
No fair.
I had one. I only have 3 little colonies here, and it's basically, well, there was one full size that had dwindled down to like less than a frame of bees, and they did perish over with the cold. I saw a bunch of bees going in and out of there, and I felt like that hive was weak, and I've been trying to feed them, but when they died out, there was at least 3 full frames of honey in there, and then several partial frames. And they were bringing. There was like open, uncapped. I don't know if you'd call it nectar or not, but there was some, open wet cells in there too. So I got to thinking maybe the hive that's like 2 feet in front of them that faces that way, maybe they're just using that as storage or something. I don't know. but yeah, I got that one little dead out, and then I took 3 frames of honey out of there and put it in my little nuke over here that swarmed real late. But they're still alive, and I saw the queen in those. I didn't get into the other one I've got. It's a 4-frame nuke, but it's stacked 3 high, so there's 12 frames in there. So I guess it's pretty close to a full colony. They're kind of balls in.
Yeah, I keep forgetting, how early does your spring start down there, Philip? Because I have seen, and Keith can probably say this, I have seen the red maples starting to get those little red buds on them now. They got that little look to them.
Yeah.
But how soon does it start for you down there?
Well, I was noticing even at Christmas time, I was like, man, it looks like that maple tree. It's a silver maple. It's not a red maple. Looks like
Okay.
it's going to bloom. But then that cold hit knocked it back. But I noticed just yesterday that it's starting to bud out again. But yeah, we usually start getting a whole lot of pollen in February. By mid-February, they should be going full bore on pollen. But the crazy thing here is it can be 80 degrees or it can drop down to 20 degrees in February. You never know. So. But we're going to get pretty serious about middle of February. Probably adding a second box and trying to get the bees to move up and probably pull some brood up and let them, try to get them to draw some comb and feed them real hard.
Wow. That's amazing to get to start that early. And that's such an advantage, ain't it, Keith? I mean, yeah. Keith already gets an advantage on me, but to hear you talking, that's even better.
Ours tend to shut down about the end of June though. So
yeah.
You guys will catch up at the end of the year for sure.
Yeah, that's about right. Mine will usually fire up into February, early March is when I normally start seeing some good stuff going on. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be any delayed or not this year. Might be a little bit later. It's hard to say though, man. Things can happen so quick. We can get over this cold spell and be warm, and here we go. So, so who knows? But then, Ricky, up on the hill. It seems like you're about almost a month behind.
A month behind, yeah. So I mean, we can be all the way up into April before we even get a chance to do anything up here. So I get very jealous.
Yeah, I had my first honey pull in April last year. So
see, that's crazy to me too. And that's my bees are swarming in April and they're building up, but they're not making anything extra for me until middle of May usually.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Once it fires up around here, if you got the supers on, they'll put some away for you. It's pretty amazing. Then the tulip poplar really hits, on over in April, May. But there's an early flow that's there to catch if you can. So,
but I will say that the last couple of years that our flow it's been real bad early, and then we've had a decent flow through July, which is. I've only been keeping bees 5 years, but the first 3 years it was just dearth in July. And I've been actually getting some honey when I wasn't expecting it the last couple of years in July. So maybe that will hold out. I don't know. We need some rain here real bad though. We're real low on rain.
It looks like some of those fronts I thought were moving across your way. That surprises me that you ain't getting a lot of rain. You must be a little bit farther south of like Dallas, or.
Well, I'm north of Dallas just a little bit. Okay. I mean, we got lots of sleet and some snow from that storm, but we didn't get anything from that second wave that came through that got all you guys. That actually kind of flipped the central to east Louisiana and went all the way down and back up again up the East Coast. That first storm came down plenty west of us and got us, but that second wet band that hit one on Thursday or Friday, it pretty much missed us here in Dallas.
Yeah, rain wise, I mean, last year it's probably been about the same as last year. Last year it was all liquid. This year has had some frozen stuff in it that we didn't have last year, but we've been blessed with some good moisture over the winter. That definitely helps make that nectar in the spring. So we'll see. It's definitely going into the ground slow this way because it ain't thawing out quick. We had a lot of stuff dripping today, but now it's down to 22 tonight. So then it'll be after lunch tomorrow before it starts dripping again. So, but it is what it is. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
No, and it's nice to have that winter melt that kind of does set in the soil. That does give us a little advantage, I think, sometimes, Keith, and especially where you're at, that it gets to popping so quickly down there. So,
when it goes in the ground like this, it don't run off. It ain't going to the creek.
No.
The ditches ain't running.
No.
It's going in the ground.
Yeah, we got some permafrost. That's what we got. So.
I just checked, Keith. It's 62 here right now.
Wow.
Let's see what we got. 31 here. So we're half.
Yeah. I was giving my family a hard time when I was in Mexico because it's like 80 to 85 and 60 during the night, and you can go outside and how nice it was. And you get back from all that warm weather, you're freezing to death, Philip. So I am cold right now. Fingertips and my toes, even my nose when I get out there is freezing off. So
yeah. Well, I was it was about the same temperature, but they were getting snow, and they were getting over in Louisiana. I was at my mom's, and boy, it was a wind. She was getting a crazy wind, like 20-mile-an-hour wind. She has a breezeway, and boy, if you walk outside in 25 degrees or whatever, and that 20-mile-an-hour wind hits you coming off that lake.
That's cool.
Goodness. And I'm trying to get the dog to go use the bathroom. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before we came on the air. I'm tired of dressing out every time I got to step outside.
Yes.
And you got to get the shoes and the socks and the breeches and the shirts and coats and long underwear and toboggans, and ain't nothing easy just to go feed the dog. So
I will say, though, that Randy here, the Tar Heel beekeeper, is going to be doing some wax tip boxes coming up here February the 20th, which is still really cold for me, but down there where Randy's at, I'm sure it'll be a little warm. It'll be a great time to make some wax tip boxes. Get yourself ahead. If you're here in North Carolina, if you're passing through, get Randy to wax tip those for you. I still have mine from last year, and they have done great. And let me tell you, they were worse than seconds, and they still look great with all that wax on them. So it definitely makes them hold up a whole lot better. So yeah.
You were talking to Ricky about once you get back from the expo, you think about stuff that you should have bought. I'm planning a trip up to Miller's probably next week.
Oh gosh, already?
Well, it's some stuff I need to get for next year. I guess I should have got it at the expo, but I didn't even think about it. But oh well, it gave me an excuse to ride up to North Wilkesboro.
Well, let me know. I've got to get my bottles from them. They're down there. I told them I didn't want to get them while I was at the expo. I'd just ride down, and they've usually got some stuff that's, like I said, coils and stuff like that. That's seconds that I tend to like to use. I've never really used really expensive beekeeping equipment, and if you do, folks, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do like seconds a lot of time. It's cheaper, and the bees do just as good.
I buy the budget stuff from them. You know, they got like budget, commercial, premium. I can't remember how they rank it. But I buy the budget stuff, and it works just fine. I don't have any trouble with it. Yeah. They've been closed this week due to weather, though. They said their parking lot and the hill getting into the place was so bad they've been shut down. So hopefully they're open back up next week. Yeah, I think they got a 50th anniversary something going on next Friday.
Okay,
so that might be a good time to go down. So
yeah, I'm going to end up wishing I bought frames while I was at Nobby, because I did buy one box. Well, I guess I bought a box of acorn frames from Bill, and I bought 10 frames from Michael at 21st B, but I need a lot more than that. So I'm building them right now. I cut blanks, and I think this is probably the last ones I'm going to build. I'm going to start buying them. It's just getting to be too much.
Yeah, I'm teetering on the edge. You know, I usually build them. You know, then I got in a hurry last year. I needed them quick, so I just bought them already put together with the foundation in them. I'm like, wow, that was really easy. But then this year I bought them disassembled because it gives you something to do on these winter days if you ain't in a big hurry for them.
Yeah, but, you're not understanding me, Keith. I build them from 2x4s.
Oh yeah, that's a little different. That's
all the way down. Yeah, I don't mind putting them together. It's I got to go through about 10 steps, and then I got those top bars are what take forever too. A lot of cuts in those top bars.
Yeah, I'm not that good with my saw, so I'm okay with glue and staplers. So
I'm okay with it. And I actually enjoy doing it. It's just I've gotten so many hives, and I want to make like 350 to 400 frames, and that's just a heck of a lot of milling and cutting.
Yeah.
I flipped over to the comments a minute ago. Hey everybody, I'm on my phone. I can't type it in, so if you said hey to me, I'm saying it back right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Mac, that wax dip frame for $1.29. That's pretty daggone good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've got 20 supers and 200 frames ready to go, and I got them waxed the other day. Added some doing the extra wax thing, so I think I'm going to do a lot of those. Like I've seen some other ones do it. Cayman does it where he sticks a couple of the foundations in his supers and let them draw them out along with the, put them in there with the drawn comb. And apparently they draw them out really good when you stick a couple in amongst the nine frames in a 10 frame box. So I'm gonna try some of that this year. We'll see.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about the plastic frames like that is I really like to cut out queen cells, and it makes it real hard if you do plastic foundation or frame. That's one of the ways I make my queens is I just make a queens. Although we did get into some grafting last year, Noah's pretty good at it, but those queens didn't really make. I don't know if we had even one of them that made it, but we made a lot of mistakes. But getting the larva in the cup and getting the bees to draw them out, we were okay with that. Just didn't get them to make when they. But we didn't make really good splits with them either. But yeah, that's. So I like the foundationless. Even when I buy my frames, I'll still do with the starter strip and fishing line on the ones I buy from. I usually buy mine from. Who do I buy them from? Is it Man Lake or I think it's Dayton? They used to have a pack of 100 for about $88, but now it's like 120, I think, for a pack of 100 frames that you have to put together yourself.
Here's a question for you, Philip. You and Keith said I had a difficult time getting queens to mate last year as well. So what might be some things that he might want to try that might make that a little easier for him?
Well, I think our problem was I wanted to make sure I got some queens and also had some people buying some nukes from me. So I used my regular old method of where I took a real strong colony and took the queen away, and then I cut cells out and we made splits. And they didn't do as well as they had in years past, but probably 60% of them or so came back mated. And then when we did the grafting like right after that. I think I might even use the same colony. We just started adding a bunch of brood and bees to it. When we made the splits with those cells, we didn't put like a lot of resources in there. We did some crazy stuff like just throw a bunch of bees in a box with some empty frames and things like that. So I can't really judge how they made it on the ones we grafted. But yeah, in general, what I think my problem was, I had most of my mating nukes lined up side by side. So I think that hurt me a little bit. So this year I'm going to take them and spread them out all over the place so the queens aren't getting confused as where to come back to.
I did have some of that to happen. I did find a colony that had 2 queens in it. So yeah, that does happen.
I had like 6 of them lined up, and you couldn't hardly tell the difference. And I think that only about half of those made it. But yeah. And I mean, you want to make sure it's the time of year if you start too early. Although we weren't early at all. I'm going to push it a little bit this year and try to do some things. I'll tell you what. Let me just put out what I want to try to do this year.
Yeah.
And I tried to do it a little bit last year, but didn't quite do it the same way. What I want to do is either take a double screen board, or maybe just even a cloak board, just a piece of plywood, and I want to take the queen from the bottom and move her up and flip the entrance to the opposite side. Bring up a 2 or 3 frames with her, and then let the strong colony below make their own queen. And then when that queen comes back mated, this queen in the top, she ought to be just about have that box filled out, that top box. Then I'm going to pull her with like 1, maybe 2 frames and take her off somewhere and then recombine them back together for the honey flow. That's the plan.
I think that's a great idea.
It's kind of like running a 2-queen system for a little while. Yeah. So, as soon as I see that new young queen is really laying good, pull the old queen. And if she doesn't come back, if she's not mated, just combine them back. Because hopefully the swarm urge is left them by then.
Yeah.
So, I want to do that about middle of March. About middle of March is when I want to pull them apart.
That'll be interesting. You don't have to worry about acceptance or anything. They should work pretty slick.
Yeah, they'll make their own queen.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope there's enough drones that early.
Yeah, it's all for naught without the drones.
Yeah, I may end up with poorly mated queens. Because I know you could do. It's easy to make splits and raise queens during right in the peak of swarm season, like which for us is like the 3rd week of April.
Yeah.
But you don't have much chance of getting honey if you try to do it then.
Right.
I'm gonna try to push it back 2-3 weeks earlier than that, so I can still catch the honey flow. We'll find out if it works.
Yep.
I think it'll work good for you. That's similar to what I did right there, Philip, that same system that you're talking about. And it definitely worked out well. And seemed like I could keep the queens coming that way. So,
and you end up with that new queen and less chance of swarming.
Yep, absolutely. So, everybody, we're glad to have everybody here tonight. And again, I would like to say thank y'all so much for joining back with us. I'm sorry it's been a while. We've just had so much going on. We was on vacation, the expo, holidays, new puppy dogs. So that's been kind of hard. I will say that Tom and Melissa won't be with us tonight. They are out at the Midwest Conference with Greg Burns and Ron Copeland and a few of those other guys, just those low-level guys, But anyway, they're out there with them. Oh, look, we got Chris with us tonight.
Chris.
What about the expo? We was talking about the expo. Yeah, Chris, man, because I hadn't got to see or talk to anybody since I was at the expo. I do want to say thank y'all so much for the gifts before I get sidetracked again. Paul and Philip and gosh, I'm gonna miss somebody. Everybody that had give me honey or a little sticker, something like that. I love to put that stuff up. It's like bringing back good memories as the year goes along. So again, thank y'all for those gifts that you give me. Even Brian from Flower Street, he gave us some stuff. I mean, we got so many different things, and you got to meet a lot of new people this year that I'd never met before at the expo. So it was great. Excellent job, Cayman and Chris and Laurel and all that group, Randy, all you folks that worked there was part of that. Thank y'all so much. It was great. I enjoyed every minute of it. So,
yeah, the only thing that was wrong with it is it went by so dang fast.
Did it not? I thought
I mean, so. We cruised into the parking lot of the hotel, and then we turned around and cruised out. I mean, it went by so quick.
Yeah,
I got me a lot. I got me a lot of stuff too, but I think my favorite thing is my B Connection T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of B Connection T-shirts. If there's anybody on the chat that I have missed or you didn't get your shirt or anything like that, we still have some of those. I'll go get one right now. Just mention it to me in the chat, and I'll make sure I get you a shirt if I've missed you. I think Jack and Dana there, I think I've missed them. I have not sent them their shirt yet. But if anybody else that I've missed, that it doesn't have a Bee Connection shirt that has won one on our channel, yep, there we go. Then I will definitely get that shirt out if I've missed you in some way or form, or if you didn't receive it, let me know. I will get it out. So
you've got several takers over here, Ricky.
Oh yeah, I see some other me's on there. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Maybe James didn't get his. I thought I sent his out, but James, you can get yours. I will send you another. Ain't no big deal. So, but we did give some of those out at the conference to some people that was at the No Life. We give some of those in the giveaway there because we just appreciate everybody that comes on the channel, wants to be a part of a good conversation about beekeeping. So, yep. Oh, Hope, we didn't get you. All right, I guess I missed a bunch of people, but I did have 10 shirts left over. So whatever I've missed, I will make sure that we do another raffle and we get those out this year so we can get some new ones. So anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about stingless honeybees tonight, which was, I think, a little bit different. I think y'all will find it very, very interesting. I will show one little picture of the beach that we was there. The water was so pretty, so blue in Mexico. So if you get a chance to go to Mexico, it's great if you got a Spanish-speaking person with you, but you can go into Cancun and Cozumel, and they are places that actually speak quite a bit of English in that area because it's so many tourists. Actually, the waiter that was with us actually spoke 3 languages. He spoke French also. So great place to go visit if you get a chance to go. But that was the water there. I do have got a few more pictures I'll show at the end of the show of us at the beach. But I do want to talk about the stingless honeybees in Mexico. If you've seen the title tonight and you've seen that bee and you're like, it don't quite look like a honeybee. You're right. It was not a honeybee. That was a stingless honeybee. And this honeybee is what they call the Mayan honeybee. It's about gone. It's about extinct. They had many of them there at this area. And it's a little different how they keep their bees. If you notice those logs right there, and they're still on the ends with some mud. And they only make about maybe half a pint of honey a year. So it's not a honey that you get to enjoy like we do with our American honeybees. So we get a ton of honey. We did this a jar while we were there. We hope to bring it to Nobby next year and let y'all try it. And it's definitely got a little bit of a different flavor. The honey that I've had in the past has had a little bit of an sour apple at the end, but this was really sweet at the end. Really good flavor to it. And they do a lot of different things with that kind of honey. They actually put it in their eyes for like eye drops. It's supposed to help with cataracts and some stuff like that, infections in the eye. I just don't know if I could put honey in my eyes, but they do it there.
That seems a little goopy.
Yeah, if
you needed cataracts, I bet you would.
Yeah, it's a thin honey though. It's probably twice as thin as our honey is what I would say it is. So, but this is a spot that they were keeping the honeybees, but they had 4 different type of stingless bees there, and it was really cool seeing it. Let me pull this picture up.
Don't some of the bees eat blood and stuff out there? Some of those stingless ones, I don't know. Like
they have a little wasp, Philip, that will bite you and eat meat and stuff like that. So
I thought it was something that may put it in their honey too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, they might do that. I'm not sure. I will say the Yucatan has 46 varieties of stingless bees, which is crazy. I did not know there was that many there. And in the Yucatan itself had 16 different varieties that were there. We did get to see 4 of them. And if you see this wall here, well, I can't point at it. It's not going to help you on that. But the rock wall that's above there, it's like a cave. It's what they call a cenote. It's where water kind of builds up in an area. The bees build on the top of the cave wall. And there was also 2 colonies of European air honeybees on that top wall there. And I'll show you a picture of it just in a second. One of the bees that was there, that's a stingless honeybee, is called a lemon bee. And this lemon bee doesn't make honey. It steals from everybody else. It steals pollen. It steals honey. It steals propolis. It's just a thief. So I was giving Ruth a hard time about it. And I said, that makes sense. That's a Mexican bee. So just a joke, folks. Just a joke. My wife can take it. It's a funny joke. Don't take it personal. We just like to give Ruth a hard time when we can. So, but they do take everything. Now, if you see the tree there, and right in front of the tree, right in front of Ruth, there's a set of rocks right there that's got a little bit of a circle. It looks like a fireplace right there in front. That is honeybees in the ground, stingless honeybees in the ground, like yellow jackets. And guess what? They come out at night.
Really?
I'm like, they come out at night? Yeah, they come out at night. They go out and get their stuff. And then during the day, they sleep just like an ant colony would. And they don't come out until the next night. So I was just absolutely fascinated with that little colony there in the ground. So let me see if I can get us another picture up here.
Well, do they try to tend these bees like we do, or do they tend them like feral bees? Or
yeah, so everything in this rock cenote with this big stone on top, they do not collect anything from these bees whatsoever. They're just completely natural. And any of the cenotes, which is hundreds of them in the Yucatan, which are underwater caves, basically, they will build on those rock features. And if you see there with the light, it's kind of in the center, that is actually is our honeybees right there that we have here in the United States. And they do not collect the honey from them bees. Those are the mellifluous honeybee that we have, the European honeybee that we have here with us. So there was 2 of those colonies there, which I found, again, fascinating that they were with every other bee that was there. There was a wasp colony that looks like stingless honeybees that will absolutely light you up. So you're like, oh, look, here's this little stingless honeybee. And next thing you know, you're getting eat up with something like yellow jackets. So, I thought that was pretty amazing also. But they do, I'll show you this other picture here of, let's see, I think this is, let's see, that's one we've already done. Move that one.
Now, do they keep the European honeybees down there at all? Do they have?
Yes.
Okay.
That has been the most honeybees I have ever seen in Mexico was in the Yucatan. And it seemed like we found honey everywhere. The flavor was extremely good. They had a flower that was blooming, I would consider looked like an asters. It was yellow. And it's a little bit darker honey. I like the flavor of it. The locals don't really care for it too much because it's kind of like our poplar, right? It's just everywhere. Nobody wants tulip poplar, right? But I thought it was great myself. So, yeah, that was a ton of people keeping honeybees in the Yucatan there. Again, the only thing they were really keeping there, that's the stingless bees, and that's them having them in colonies there. Oh, thank you, Ruth. I'll pull this up, and this is about what they get per colony. Let's see if I can,
really? Wow. Yeah. I saw a video. Now, do they make is their nest made from wax or paper?
It's made from wax. It looks more like propolis to me. Here, let me pull that picture up since you mentioned it, Philip. Let me get it here. Here we go. Looks like a brain to me.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video, and they would have kept them in something not much bigger than a shoebox.
Yeah. Well, come on now.
And it's round, isn't it? They go.
Yes.
And it's in like vertical layers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I remember. kind of. It looks similar to a hornet's nest, but
Yes.
without the paper shell around it.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is actually, if I could ever focus in on, you'd actually see some bees at the top corner, kind of on the edges of that colony there. They had several of those sitting there on a little platform, and it was pretty cool seeing them with their bees. But they have little pouches. They're not like air.
Yeah, they look like they almost look like little bubbles, don't they? Little bubbles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like bumblebees almost to an extent. Yes, sir. Yep. So definitely a different way of keeping honeybees. And again, to only get this for a whole year, I mean, that's crazy, So you can imagine. So again, that's me and Ruth standing there looking at the honeybees. Let me get rid of that one.
Yeah, when I did some research for a presentation I was giving on honeybees, they kept the Egyptians kept them in ceramic tubes that looked like those logs, about that size, and they would put mud in the end of those and poke a little hole, and the bees would build inside those ceramic tubes.
Yeah, it's totally different kind of beekeeping.
Yeah. And they would make a whole wall of them. So it'd be like a wall that was like 2.5 feet thick of tubes going away from you. And they'd have one little hole about as big as your finger that those bees would go out of. And there was a mud face on it. They would open that up. I think they would open it from the back because I think the bees tended to put their honey further away from the entrance. So they would rob them from the backside.
That's correct. You're absolutely right, Phil. They do get them from the backside. You're absolutely right. So, you've definitely gotten into some research on that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I was just studying the history of honeybees.
Yeah, I tell you one thing though is they do bite like an ant. They will pinch you, and you'll feel the pain of that little pinch that you get from them. So Ruth's uncle had some. And the first time we went, they were really docile. Didn't care if you got in, smashed the little pouches, and got the honey out. But the next group that came in, because that had swarmed out, it was hot, and they were all over us trying to bite us. So definitely was not a fun experience that time. So also when we was there, this was a little honey safari kind of setup, and they did a really good job. I'll try to post out my Facebook page if anybody wants to go in and check it out. You can give donations if you want to for the stingless honeybees. But they had a taste in here, and they had a little bit of a gourd with a like a little bit of a tincture with the propolis from the mine honeybees. And that's the little bowl sitting right down at the very bottom there. That's Ruth's mom and dad in the foreground there. And that was our guide that was teaching us. And they actually made candy from the honey. Let's see. I'm sure I'm forgetting something else they did. Of course, they made the lip balm, the eye drops that was there. So you got to sit there and got to taste these different flavors. I will say that the little stingless bees were a lot like honeybees. They came to find out, hey, that smells like honey over there. I better go check it out. So they was flying around. There was a lady that was with us that was actually from Canada. So I mentioned to her, hey, do you know Ian Stepler? And she was a new beekeeper. So, of course, she didn't know who he was yet, but I guarantee she will as time goes along.
You usually find him on the sugar aisle at Costco, I hear.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how big are those stingless bees, Rick?
They're only about the size of a gnat, maybe a little bit bigger, like a sweat bee, I'd say. No bigger than that. They're so small. You'd be surprised how little they are. And again, that makes a lot of sense that that's all the honey they produce in a year. So we also got to
Filming could get a gallon out of it.
yeah. I'd love to have a gallon up because it's really expensive. I didn't know it was as expensive as it was down there.
He has the way of talking to them that gets them going.
Mm. Yeah, Keith, I think Keith could probably talk to anybody from the Nobby and the dinners and stuff. Everybody that sat down, we had a good time at our table at the No Life. We really did. That was what was it? It was Kevin, and what was his wife's name? Michelle, her name? Do you remember?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Kevin who?
This was the lady and gentleman that we sat with at our dinner. I remember the guy's name was Kevin. I forgot her name already. So
was it Clancy?
Yeah.
What?
I think that's right.
Yeah, his wife's name is Joanne.
Joanne, that's it. Thank you. Yep.
Good memory, Philip.
Well, no, I met them there, and Kevin won one of the prizes on our raffle. That's kind of how I knew him. Matter of fact, I forgot to bring. He actually won one of the. This is why I remembered him, is because he won one of the sets of coasters, which I forgot to bring. So I had to mail it to him when I got home.
Mm.
So
there he is in the chat.
There's Kevin right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being on with us tonight, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Yeah, great couple. Again, that's the cool thing about when you go to the expo, you get those kinds of people. So this photo right here is actually a Mayan person. Ruth, she did talk to us just a little bit. She doesn't speak very much Spanish, and Ruth had a hard time understanding her. She actually made. There's a fire to the left over there. The little gourd that's in front of her, the big gourd that's in front of the brown thing there, is where she made her tortillas. They're handmade. They're in that little container there. They actually used honey, the Mayans did, in their dishes. And one of their dishes, which was to me was absolutely delicious, was a pumpkin seed flavored dip. And that would have been the brownish looking one. The third bowl is where that's at. It was absolutely delicious. I like it the best. I did start with the hot stuff, which is of the three brown bowls. It was in the middle right there. And it absolutely lit me on fire. Let me tell you. I think I can hold my peppers really well, the hot peppers, but man, I could not take it. And I did tell Ruth, I said, let's start with that hot one first. So as we go down to the more medium flavors, we won't get burned up. But all three of these dishes, the Mayans used to collect the stingless bees, honey to put in their dishes. And these are three of them that they made there. And again, she spoke very little, even Spanish, because she actually spoke Mayan. So I found that to be very interesting. They had her there and had her to perform these dishes for us to try. The dish that's kind of red, it's to my left, maybe to y'all's right, which is closer to the fire pit. It was more like a salsa, but man, it was absolutely delicious. I mean, you think about taking some of the reddest tomatoes, ripe tomatoes out of your garden, and then adding some sweet honey in there with a few peppers and stuff. It was delicious. Absolutely delicious. So great place to visit. If you ever get to go to Mexico, you can find these little places. Every time I go, I want to find some beekeeper. I'm sorry. If y'all know, it's like when you're traveling, you always look at, look at that guy over there. He's got some bee boxes. Oh, there's some over there. You know, you feel like you're at home when you see some beehives, and to see something that's a little different in the Yucatan of Mexico. Stingless honeybees. Yes, they had their European honeybees there, and they had honey from them that they got from the locals. But the stingless bees was definitely a big highlight for me. It was different. Actually, to get some honey candy. was delicious for me. So, you guys got any questions? Anybody got any questions in the chat that I might answer for you before we kind of move along?
What did the Mayan language sound like? Did it sound anything like Spanish, or was it just totally different?
Hold on a second. Let me yell for my wife. Let me mute my microphone. I shall yell for her so she can answer that. She's coming. She can definitely explain that differently than I can. So the lady that we spoke to, can you come and tell me a little bit about? It's all right. Come on. Come here. Just come over here. You can talk in the microphone. Come on. She's in her PJs, just so y'all know. Come right over here.
Look.
Yeah. They want to know what the language that she was speaking, how much different was that from Spanish to you, the dialect and stuff?
Oh, gosh.
Is it like, would it be like for us trying to understand Spanish? I mean,
it's way different.
It's way different. Like trying to learn Russian then? Would you say it's that
kind
hard?
of like trying to learn Korean or Chinese?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, I guess it'd be like us trying to learn like American Indian, compared to English.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Mayans, so I'm not sure of what kind of dialect they talk. There is more than 1,000 dialects in Mexico. They still speaking, and actually, they're promoting the new generations to learn it so it doesn't get lost.
Wow.
And they have classes. They have little schools, like private, maybe a few people going and learning that.
That's good.
That's really good. They keep that culture going. And that's the same thing with the stingless bees down there. They're trying to keep those breeds going because the Mayan bee was almost extinct, right? Isn't that what he said? It's supposed to be extinct.
Yeah, because they cut all the
rainforest,
forest and stuff like that, and they build places.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely cool. Anybody else got any questions before I let Ruth go? I'm sorry I didn't look in the chat besides what Lee said about me being in trouble. So let me scroll back up here to see if it's something I didn't miss. Look like anybody's asking any other questions. If you did, just repeat it if you don't mind, and we'll try to get it answered. So
there's a lot of hey Ruth.
What?
There's a bunch of high roots in there.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited. You're popular in here, Ruth.
Yeah, everybody's saying hello, Ruth.
The ruins that y'all visited, the pyramids, they were Mayan or Aztec?
Mayans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So explain a little bit about where the Mayans are at, where the Aztecs are at, and where the Incas are at. And then you had the oldest of old is the Olmecas, which is really in the hook of the Yucatan, right?
So there's different kind of how would you call it? Indians,
tribes. Yeah,
tribes, more like tribes. So the Mexicas, they were in the Mexico City area where they situated. The Incas are more like in Peru,
in South America.
The Olmecas are in the southwest. More like it's not much of them. It's maybe one state. And the Mayans were in the peninsula, which is Yucatan, Quintana Roo, and Campeche, all that area. And then you have the Tariacuris, which was a smaller tribe, and that was in Michoacan, where I'm from. And all of them, they fought for territory.
All the time.
all the time.
And that was the pyramids that if you guys had gotten on our Facebook and seen, it was called the Pyramid of the Jackal.
The jaguar.
The jaguar.
Ekbalam. That's the name of the pyramids. And the Indians didn't want to worship the Spanish gods, so the Spanish, in order for them to make them worship the
Catholics,
they
would tear their pyramids down,
and
put a Catholic church on top of that area,
and then build their Catholic churches and put the stones from the pyramids as a cornerstones. So you can see the Catholic churches in those areas with the pyramids stones. And then it was funny because the Indians didn't want to worship their idol, so they insert the idol under the Spanish idol. So the Spanish will think that they were worshiping their idols.
And something else about the people down there. So Ruth has got a little bit of Spanish from overseas. The Mayans tend to have a little bit of a rounded face.
I have more French.
Yeah, okay. Excuse me, more French. Excuse me. But Ruth has more of a rounded face. Most Mayans have a rounded face, a little more chunky. The Aztec people, that's kind of more towards where Ruth's mom and dad lives at. I've already taken Ruth's dad's picture down, but he looks more Aztec. It's more narrow faced. The
Olmecas, they were round.
They were round, kind of like Hawaiians,
lips,
really.
Yeah, and the
chunky.
lips were like really.
Yeah, had huge lips on them. So you can still see in those areas that those genetics are still going in those areas. Even the lady, you can see how her face is, even though she's older and kind of hollowed out a little bit, they have more of a rounded face and they're more chunky. They seem to carry more weight.
And the Mayans were small people too.
Yeah, they were really
short.
And the Aztecs tend to be a whole lot taller than them. So, yep. So,
do you tell them about the bees that they secrete liquid to be able to rob the other bees?
The lemon bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those lemon bees, when they steal, they actually secrete a pheromone that actually causes the.
It's like a venom. It's like he said that they will go and secrete that, and then it pushes off the other.
It basically causes them to go crazy. So they think about.
They're like zombies.
Yeah, they call them zombie bees because they've been sprayed by these lemon bees that are stealing the propolis and the pollen and all that. Now, we did ask that if a human was to go and shake one of those hives, would we get that same kind of zombie effect? And he said if a lot of them did it, then that could definitely happen, which was like, wow. So definitely do not want none of those bees around. So
interesting.
Yes. Very different. So all right, bud. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So
thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. Now, why was she saying that? Did she say Michoacan?
Michoacan. I call it Michigan. She hates when I call it Michigan, like Michigan at the Great Lakes.
Yeah, that's like up north.
There's a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant in Carrollton, and that has that name on it on the front.
Yeah,
and I've always called it Mihohoken or something. I've always mentioned it really bad. But man, they got the best. They had the best pastor torta ever.
Oh yeah. That's something else, and I don't understand here in the United States is why our food's not no fresher than it is. Everything is fresh. I mean, I'm talking like a pineapple was picked that day, and it is the sweetest thing you've ever eat. A mango has been picked a couple of days. Nothing is picked green there. Everything is fresh, and the flavors are so intense. That I just love it when I go there and eat. So it'll make you fat very quickly. Let's put it that way. So.
Yeah, I'm at their couple of years ago. We went to Cozumel and stayed on the resort, and my gosh, the food was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes, and just like 10 different entrees to pick from. You know, it's like, and then the desserts, like 30 different desserts.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Hard to have room for ice cream at the end of it.
Oh, you know it. So, and the prices are so cheap down there, so you can
This
get about whatever you want.
This
So,
was all inclusive. So,
okay.
you know,
Yep.
it was. I mean, it wasn't. It was no more than a nice hotel room, and for everything included.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad.
It was definitely different seeing the different styles of beekeeping and the different, we've seen 4 stingless, we've seen 1 wasp nest, and then we got to see the 2 colonies that were on the top roof. And then when we went and swam in the cenotes, which is these underground caves, and you're looking up, that's what I was looking for the whole entire time I was in the water. I'm looking up like, oh, there's one right there. There's a Mayan honeybees, and there's another American honeybee. So
Bee nerd.
I'm a bee nerd. I tell you, it's horrible. So it's an addiction. So
I wonder if the the European honeybees that the Mexican folks were tending, do they have the same issues we got? Do they have varroa mites? Do they are they all non-treatment? Did you get to ask any of that?
Did not get to ask that there in the Yucatan, but when we was at Ruth's family's house, yes, they definitely have the same problems that we are having. They tend to have more problems. Ants can be a very big problem down there and take colonies over. The killer bees, honeybees that are down there, they will take colonies over. I did not know they did that. A whole colony will go in and take one over. So, and yeah, I'm sure, Philip, you know some about that down there where you're
I've heard of that. I can't remember. There's a word for it.
It's called usurpation. It's called usurpation.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Usurp. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was crazy going to a mango orchard and seeing queen excluders on the front of the colonies. And it's just so that rival queen cannot get into that colony. Even though they might go in there, it will keep that rival queen from going in. And if she doesn't go in, then the rest of them can't go in. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there's the word.
Yeah, that's the one. So, but yeah, the beekeeping is a lot different. The drizzle that you guys were using now, those different formulations that we're using now of the oxalic acid, they were already doing that down there. They've been doing that down there for 10 years is what they told me. And we had just got started with it. They also have some stuff that is illegal, and I won't mention it on YouTube, so maybe they don't ding me for it. But they use some illegal stuff, pesticides on their bees down there. They don't use much pesticides, but this is for the mites. So they do a really good job of keeping their bees clean, except some of those a little harsher chemicals that they have to use down there. Kind of interested to see if this new trophy mite that's out, how bad that's going to affect them down there. If anybody gets a chance to go see, I think Ethan Stepler posted a video that was really cool, had some good information on it. I watched it yesterday on his Facebook page. Kind of give you a rundown on this new mite that's going to be affecting us coming up. It was really interesting. If you get a chance to go to his Facebook page, that was
according to somebody. They were having Cayman was having a discussion with some people about the trophy mite, and they were talking about the way they manage them in, is it Taiwan or where is it? I can't remember where they are, but they actually, he said they treat almost constantly, and they even used, I think he said it was called an aerosolized fumigellin.
Wow.
Yeah, which is totally illegal.
Yeah.
And they harvest the honey out of the brood nest, but they harvest honey from the sides of the brood nest, not.
Oh wow.
So all that stuff is in there.
That's interesting. I will see after watching the Trophy Mike video, man, it makes me feel like my bees are doomed. I've never felt that way before, but this
Yeah.
it's hard enough to get them through winter right now, much less one more thing, you know. So
I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
going like I planned on and see what happens. I'm trying not to worry about it until it's here.
right.
Yeah. I mean, all we know right now is what we hear. You know, the scary part is it moves so fast. You know, by the time you get it, you don't notice your colonies died, and then you're like, what was that? You know, you don't have time to react.
Mm-mm.
So that's kind of the scary part. So I think Richard Noel had Ian on for a chat a week or two ago. It was interesting. They went over all kinds of different things. You might want to check that out. But
Okay.
but so many people are in the same boat. You know, it's fun to talk about keeping it out of the country, but I think we all know that sooner or later something's going to happen. It's going to sneak in on a boat, under a car, something.
The I don't know if you call it scary thing or the discouraging thing or whatever is we know the answer, but nobody's willing to stomach the answer. The answer is to stop letting people transport bees all over the country, and that's not going to happen. That's the concept, you know. So, and that's just getting at people's freedoms and all that. So, I mean, once it's here, it's going to go to California, and then it's going to go to the rest of the country.
Yeah. You know, and they know that some of the acids, like a formic acid, works, but it's like you got to do it all the time. You know, that's going to be hard on your bees and hard on your queens, and you can't do it when it's 90 degrees outside, so you can't do it.
That's 75% of our season.
Yeah.
Or maybe more, you know.
So you're only going to be able to raise the bees. Well, even way up north, it's still, you can hit some high temps. So yeah, I don't know.
Everybody talks about, okay, we can do it in October, November. And October, November, for me, that's when my queen needs to be making winter bees. She doesn't make
need to be shutting her down
September. And so you want me to shut her down, or, you know, as soon as she can start actually making the bees I need to get through winter?
Yeah.
Well, it takes that option away. But yeah, formic is not a good solution for us in the South.
No. And supposedly oxalic acid's not having much of an effect. I don't know that for sure. Like I said, all we know is what we're hearing.
I will tell you this, for our people who can stomach risk, not me, I'm too old to stomach any risk. People who really want to expand, I believe it's going to create an opportunity like never before, or not since Varroa. But that family that has 80,000 colonies or whatever, the way they grew was when Varroa came, all these old beekeepers said, I don't have time to deal with this, I'm too old, and sold out. And they bought everybody's operation around the country. And that's how they got to be so big, was they took advantage of that opportunity that Varroa gave them. So if there are people out there who can stomach the risk and really want to grow big, it's going to be an opportunity for somebody, because there's going to be a whole, and even just for hobbyists and sideliners who want to increase their numbers, there's going to be a lot of people that want out. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, cheap equipment and free equipment floating around. I think it's going to run a lot of people out of the business.
I just want to throw that back up there real quick. Roostad's sitting to the left. If you look at his face, he's more of an Aztec look. And if you see Roost's mom, more rounded face, more Mayan look to her. So. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I just hope somebody finds something before we get there. And if anybody's like a backyard beekeeper and, you know, can come up with something really cool to help and watch some videos and stuff. There's a lot of backyard beekeepers that are extremely intelligent, you know, and we as a group we could come up with something, you know. So that would be a really, really awesome thing to do, and to get these bees through. So
it appears that it's going to be in, Western Europe before it gets here. So that's good, and we have pretty good communication with them. So we'll at least know kind of what to expect.
I mean, it's already in Ukraine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it's got to do is head across like Poland and Belarus. Now it's maybe Western Europe.
Well, let's get off the doom and gloom and let's move to something I think is a whole lot better. Let's talk about Phillips honey that I tried at the Navi. Tell us a little bit about that flavor that you had. Was incredible. So just tell us a little bit about how you got that flavor.
I don't know. That's the fall honey that it's only my bees here at my house, which I think if we don't find some people around close by for me to put my bees on, you might have some of the last of it. But I've been on here for years hearing people badmouth fall honey, and I couldn't understand it because I think it's my favorite honey. And but my fall honey that's down at Richland and my fall honey that's up at Crossroads, which is only 17 miles north, it's not awful. It's edible.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even eat the fall honey that comes from Richland. It's terrible. But that fall honey that's just 17 miles north is not good at all. So it's kind of got a licorice taste to it almost. But this is not. I don't know why you describe it. It's kind of like a molasses, kind of like a mixture of molasses and maple syrup almost.
Yep.
It's the way I would describe it.
Did you get to try it, Keith? Did you get to try that?
I didn't get to try it.
Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah, I made a point to give Ricky a jar of it because he was saying that he tasted something. He said it was good, but it just wasn't honey. And I was like, I wonder if that's what you were having, something similar to what I have, because I could see where somebody would not think it tastes like, and it's got a honey taste, but it's totally different from.
It's different, yeah.
You don't know what the nectar source is?
I do not. I'm thinking, and I don't think it's much goldenrod. There is some goldenrod around. It might be some knotweed.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
One of the fingers. But it's just, and I tell people it might be root beer from the elementary school. Bees will work trash cans at 7-Eleven.
Yes, they will. So definitely could get some interesting flavors like that. So, but that's another cool thing, and that's something we experienced this year was getting different flavors that we've never had before here in the mountains. We just didn't get a whole lot of honey, but some, how you break something loose and there's some honey, you dip it and you put it in your, that's really good. I've never had that flavor before. We got to see a lot of that up here with Hurricane Helene that had knocked down so many trees and stuff. So some years you never know, you get that flavor that's just special. And I think, Philip, you got something that was a little special. So
yeah, you got something from, I don't know where it is now. Oh, that's been put away. I got a jar of marked goldenrod from Hale Hives, Paul at Hale Hives.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't taste like mine necessarily, but I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And he called it goldenrod, so maybe mine does have some goldenrod in it.
We can all not be like Keith over here and make like 200,000 gallons of honey, but we get some special flavors. That's all that matters. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just keep getting smaller and smaller jars is what I do.
yeah. Start putting them in stuff like this.
There you go.
Keep the price high. Yeah. I sell that jar for about $12 or $14.
So
yeah.
Keith, if all your bees get through winter this year, let's just say, or however many, and you have more colonies than you had last year, what are you thinking about your honey totals for this year? Or you just don't try to, count your eggs before they hatch?
Yeah, I mean, we all know it's like farming. You don't know what you got till it's in the bucket. So Um, I think I've said in some of my videos, I really don't want to make any more than I made last year. That was enough work for me working by myself. And doing the number of markets that I had to do to sell it. So, more honey just means more markets. So, we'll just have to wait and see. I've got 2 or 3 more hives right now than I had this time last year. So I don't know. Last year is just everything lined up and it was a great year. If that happens again, I think it'd be pretty crazy. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I got a plan for you, Keith.
What's that?
So you help out a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're a mentor for tons of people, and you do a lot for them, including like keep their bees treated and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is just do an hour for hour swap with them, and they go mark your markets. Right?
Yes, that's not a bad idea.
So, yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
I was sending notes out.
Out of the ones you mentored, how many actually got honey? How out of the people that you mentored, how many of them actually got honey? I was kind of curious.
All of
that.
them. All of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That Keith's a man.
Yeah, they all got more honey than they wanted actually. And I end up, when that happens, that's kind of when I sell them woodware or sell them whatever it is, fondant patties, mite treatments, whatever, kind of swap honey for stuff. So, that works out good for both of us because a lot of these folks that I'm helping, they're giving most of theirs away. They're not selling it. They're putting a lot of it in 1/2 pint jars and giving it away to the folks at church and the folks in the community and relatives
right.
But they made so much they ran out of places to give it away. Didn't have anybody left to give it to. So, that's the conversation I'm having with all of them right now. Other than, it's a terrible winter. We've done the best we can. It's up to the bees now to do their part, to make it till spring. But now what do you want to do in the spring? We got 4 hives. Do you want 8? You got 2 hives. Do you want 4? You got 7. You want 14? You need to be deciding what you want to do.
Right.
So
but most of them don't want to double. They definitely don't want to double their honey. So we'll see.
Do they harvest their own honey?
Do they what?
Do they harvest the honey?
Yeah. Well, I help some of them, and some of them do it themselves. There's a couple of them have bought extractors, and I just kind of help them decide when to do it.
Right.
And what the logistics, the best way to go about doing it. And then 2 or 3 of them that I help, I actually, pull the frames and bring it back to the house and extract it for them. So it works out different ways.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about, in an urban area like I live in, I've heard, and Brian Savada does it, you can actually manage people's bees for them where they don't have to do anything.
Yep.
You just go over there and treat them, take care of them and all that. But it comes down to a discussion when it comes to honey. I don't care how much they're paying me to manage their bees, I'm not harvesting their honey and then giving it back to them. If I'm harvesting it, I'm going to keep at least half of it.
Yeah. Now, that's kind of the deal I've got with him, aside from using honey to barter with. Usually if I extract it for him, we split it 50-50.
Okay.
And I'm providing all the equipment, the buckets, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they jar it and give me the buckets back. But
and I wouldn't mind, I could sell it. I can sell my half back. If they want it all, I can sell it, put a per pound fee on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it usually works out good because, like I say, they're making more honey than they planned on anyway. So it's a win-win for all of us. But yeah, like Larimore says over there, you better be deciding quick because it's upon us. That's what I'm telling them.
Yeah, it's true. You're going to have to do something or those bees are all going to hit the trees.
Yeah. I mean, the ones, I know the one fella that's got 2 hives, that's all he wants. So I end up having to pull brood out of his, and I just come home and, I make splits with his brood back at in my bee yard. Some of the rest of them, they might want a few more hives. So they need to be collecting some woodware and doing some other stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's February the 5th.
Yeah, it's time to make some decisions.
A month from now, things will be, normally things around here will be picking up. So we'll see. We'll see. It's handy having Miller right up the road so I can go up there and do an emergency run and get some wood if I need it.
How many extra frames did you make last year, Keith? Do you have it counted up?
I think I thought I had enough about 3 times.
Yeah.
And bought it 100 or 200 at a time. And I ended up buying several times. And I got a couple of hundred extras right now. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't want a lot more hives. I got up to 37 last year, and that was a lot of work. Only a small number, well, not a small number, 17, 18 of those were my production hives, but still you gotta tend to them. And I sold some bees and ended up doing some combines at the end of the year, and I got 26 right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I have made some arrangements for some more bucket sales this year.
Okay.
Which obviously bucket sales, you don't make as much money off of it, but it's pretty dang easy. You put it in a bucket, knock the top on, and sell it.
Yes, it is.
It's a whole lot less labor.
I think it would be for the person that gets your honey too, because they don't have to put all that work into it.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to push some larger quantities for I've got some folks that been good customers for a while, and they've about replaced all of their sugar with honey. When you do that, you use a lot of honey.
Yeah, you do.
And I can give them a lot better deal if they'll buy it by the gallon or 2 gallons or 5 gallons instead of buying it by the quart. So
I got plenty of people that want to buy it that way. I just tell them I can't do it. I can't sell it any cheaper than I'm selling it because I'm cutting myself, cutting my own throat if I do that.
There's my wife popping in. He never has enough woodware.
He never does.
So, but yeah, that just goes back to that break-even point on how much time do I want to spend at the farmer's market versus knock a lid on a 5-gallon bucket and sell it. So,
yeah, I agree with you, Brian. Keith definitely has it figured out how to get the maximum amount out of his bees. And one of these days, he's going to come up here on the mountain and teach me. I'll be his mentoree or whatever I need to be to get him to teach me how to get that much honey.
I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it off again this year, and then I'll feel better about it. Like I said, the planets aligned last year.
Yeah.
I've got. How do I price my buckets?
Go ahead.
It varies. I've sold it to quantities to a mead maker for around $3.50 a bucket. So, which is obviously a lot cheaper than if you multiply it out by the quart. But still, you can sell it retail 5-gallon buckets. You can sell for $450, $500 a bucket, and you're still saving folks money over buying it by the quart.
Mm-hmm.
So, Clay came down and visited me not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that Clay's a yard seller or antiquer. So if you get some antiques, he'll head your way. I'll tell you.
He don't stay still very much. He's on the move.
Yeah, my honey, if I get it in the jars, it comes out to about $800 a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
The
smaller the quantity, the better, man. You start sticking in little 8-ounce bears and selling it. You can make a 5-gallon bucket might be worth $1,000.
Right.
So the smaller the quantity, the better the profit actually, but it's more labor getting it in the bottle, more labels, more bottles, more everything. So do I do any splits? I try to do as few as possible. My goal in life is to not make splits. I want to keep my hives as humongous as I can without them swarming. So I try to stay on that fine line between swarm and gone. And it worked out good for me last year. I ended up with some really big hives that made a lot of honey. So, but you got to get into the hives a whole lot to do that. You got to split broods. You got to add boxes. You got to make sure they don't have cells in them. And I'm in some of my hives twice a week. When it really starts going fast. So that's something that you can't do if you got a couple of hundred hives. I can do it when I got 20, 22 hives. But some of the techniques that I use, you couldn't use it on a large quantity. You just don't have the labor to do that. So
So how many? I know y'all keep all mediums, but how many supers that you would call just honey supers of drawn combs do you have?
about 90.
Okay.
I've got about 90 right now.
Yeah, that's where you really got me at a disadvantage. I think I have probably 50, and that's that's spread over that many hives again. So.
Yeah, that really helps you out having enough supers. Because I've talked about it before how I really never let my supers get full. I pulled honey I think 5 or 6 times last year. Instead of having 1 or 2 big pulls, I've got a whole lot of smaller pulls. And never let the supers really get full. So the ladies always have somewhere to put honey. I've always said, I think some folks might be leaving some honey on the table. When they pull all their supers and all their supers are flat full, then they probably could have made more honey than what they did if they had been able to give the bees some more room.
Yep.
So
would you say that crowds the brood nest down and she's not laying as many bees? And then would you say that, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, they could. I've really never had any. Well, the way I do it, it's not going to happen. But I don't know if they would. They try to plug out the brood box, or they're not going to quit foraging. They're going to keep putting it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're. When the flow is going on, the bees really don't know what the word stop is, as far as bringing in goodies. They're just going to keep on bringing it in and packing it in and not leave the queen nowhere to lay. But I do think that pulling the supers before they get full, I think that's a plus.
You got that, Keith?
Yeah.
So how far do you let? Yeah, go ahead.
The majority of my honey, Keith, isn't capped. When they start bringing it in around here, the tulip poplars bloom and the bees go crazy. It's almost like they're bringing it in so fast they don't have time to cap it. So I do a lot of the shake test is obviously the quick way, but I'll use my what's my word, Philip? A moisture checker.
Fractometer.
Yeah. And check it and check the moisture. And obviously you want it below 18, but if I've got a bunch of frames of uncapped honey and it's at 19, I can pull it and put it in my breezeway and put my fans and my heaters and everything on, and I can drop it a couple of points in 2 or 3 days. And then when you go to extract it, uncapped honey is a whole lot easier to extract than having to cut the cappings off. Now, if you want to make a lot of wax, you ain't going to make no wax doing it that way. But, man, you can run through the boxes of honey if it's not capped.
There's no repairs back for the bees, right? They're not really repairing any of the comb. Nope. And they're not making extra wax to cap that over with. So there's a double bonus there. Really.
Any energy. So yeah, then you just put those empties right back on and let her rip. So yeah, cappings is one thing that's never that's never been on high on my list of things to look for when I'm making honey. You know, if I got frames full of honey and the moisture's 18 or close to 18, you know, I'm going to pull it.
Folks, I hate to stop it right here tonight, but it is 10 o'clock. I do like to stop on time. So next Thursday, come back and be with us again. We'll show you just a couple pictures before we flow off. There is, in that bloom right there, is one of the stingless bees that kind of give you an idea of how big that bee is. You can barely see its butt sticking out there. And we have my sister and me. We was sitting there eating at one of the little cenotes. So I was blessed to got her to go with me. And, of course, the last one will be of the beach because that's what it's all about. And it was beautiful there. So, folks, if you get a chance to go to Mexico, I suggest you go and enjoy it. Do a cruise or whatever it might be. Go down and enjoy the warm weather. And it'll be a whole lot better than all the snow that me and Keith Spillman's been deal with. And any of you folks in the north know how this snow goes. Good time of year to go in January to the Mexico. But anyway, we say God bless, and we'll see you next Thursday night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
So y'all.